Hi, I'm Patricia, and welcome to my creative space. Today we're going to be making 2 canes in a Mokume Gane. We're going to make a lace cane, as you can see here. This is what we'll be making first. Then we'll be making a translucent leaf cane. And we'll be making some Mokume Gane. Let's get started. First here, I'm going to make the center translucent part for our lace cane. And I'm just squishing and rolling, making sure there's no air bubbles in there. So squishing and rolling. Here I have my white clay rolled out on a setting 3, I do believe is what I did. Mess that up, do it on a setting 2. And you can see I cut crooked. I will fix that here in just a few. But roll it out, make a mark, cut on that mark. I'm going to take and fix where my white did not go. I'm just going to place that on there, wrap it around to where I need it, and then cut it off. Easy fix, no problem. These canes are really forgetting. Now I've got my black. I do believe it's rolled out on a setting 0 on my Atlas pasta machine. Sizing it up. There, I did a better cut. Okay, make your mark. Cut along that mark. There you go. Now I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to start on the leaf cane. So I've got my translucent here. Get that mess off there, and I'm just going to roll it up, flatten it out, roll it up, flatten it out. I'm going to squish it down. I don't need too much, so I'm making mine pretty small. It's not like I use a whole lot here, but I already have a lot, so I don't need too much. So that's ready to go. And I will get my clay here. I believe I have these rolled out on a setting 3, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it's on the setting 3. So right now I'm just cutting them to the size that I need them, getting the yucky smudge off the edges. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Anyway, I'm going to take that and lay it on there so I get my width that I need here. Okay, that's going to be for my first cut. I'm just going to cut through this. I end up switching over to my tissue blade because this one just kind of left a dent in it. So I switch over to my tissue blade, which seems to be a little bit sharper for me. I'm going to set that in between there. Start on my next one. There's how I size that up. Put on my black, do the same thing. And put them together. Put it in between. Do my next cut. Do the same thing. And I have sped this up, so I'm not really going as fast as what it looks like. I didn't want you to have to sit here and watch forever. I'm trying to make the video as short as possible and still show everything that you need to know. Now I'm just going to take and get off that extra that I don't need on there. Okay, now I'm going to do my diagonal cut. There we go. Flip that around. I'm just checking, see how it's going to look. So take my white, cut around it, Do the same thing with my black. Cut around it. Put them together. And I'll pop that on one side. And I'll take the other half and pop it on there as straight as I can. And I'm going to take and cut off that excess. That looks good. So now we're going to wrap the edge in white. Just sizing it up here. We'll roll that up. Okay. Got a little mess here, so I'm just going to tap some on there and trim that up. Now I've got my black. We're going to wrap that white in this black. Size it up. Grab the wrong blade is what I did. Okay. Lift that edge up with the blade. Makes it a lot easier. I'll wrap that around that white. Make my little mark here where I need to cut. Cut that excess off. Okay, now I'm going to start this cane, reducing it. And remember, I am not going this fast. I have this video sped up. So, don't go too fast. So I'm just getting it into a nice triangle here. Pinching and pulling, pinching and pulling. Flipping it as I go, pinching and pulling. And I'm very impatient, so I gotta cut a little bit off here, see what it looks like. There's what it looks like. I'm gonna go here a little bit more. And you don't want to reduce it too fast. And this one is really squishy, so I do it a little bit. Then I set it to the side. And I'm gonna work on my next one. So here I am with the lace cane. And now it's just a bullseye cane. So I'm just reducing it, getting any air out that might be in there, squeezing up and down each side. And I'm going to roll it. Now, I'm going to show you how I do it in a very small space because I literally have like a really small space, about 10 inches to work with on my desk. So this is how I do it. I just do it a little bit at a time. Reducing it, rolling it. Getting out some air bubbles here. And I just keep taking it and rolling it out on one end pretty much. As I get it longer, I'll end up cutting that. That way I work with just a little bit at a time. There's my cut. Take this wonky end first. Cut that off. Why didn't I cut it all the way? Because you're going to have some that's going to be cut off anyway. I didn't want to cut too much of that off yet. So, here I'm ready to start cutting my logs. Take the next one to measure up. Some people can do it just by visual. I cannot. I need to measure it with the last one. So this is how I do it. You can see I got a fat end and a skinny end. And I just roll so much and then do my cut. Because like I said, I got about a 10-inch square to work with here. if that. And what you're seeing on the camera is not even close to that. So this is how I go. So this is what I'm going to continue doing, just rolling, sizing it up, stacking the next one on. What I try to do, because I think it's prettier, is to make like a honeycomb shape in the middle and then go around that, is what I like to do, because I just think it's prettier. But you can put it together however you like. But this is all I'm going to be doing, is rolling and cutting until I get to the size I want it. So I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to start working on the leaf cane again. Okay, like I said, I'm kind of switching back and forth because it's kind of mushy. I'm letting that cane rest a little bit before I start putting it together. So this is set a while, so it's not as squishy. So hopefully I don't distort it. I can tell you I did do too much. I went too far. It didn't come out as big as I wanted it because I reduced it too much. So you want to be careful how much you're reducing it. And when it's really soft, it goes really fast. So just be aware of that. What I should have done was stopped about here, but I kept going. And I broke it. So just gonna pop that off. So another thing, don't go all gung-ho and do too much too fast like I did and break it. But yeah, I definitely should have stopped here. Would have been a good size. But I went too far. So, and again, remember, I am not going this fast. I do go too fast usually when I reduce. It's a bad thing I do. But not that quite this fast. But the slower you go, the better it's going to come out. And I am very impatient. So don't be like me. Just cut off that end. And I will set that to the side. What I've got is I made 2 canes. One I did a bit smaller than the other. This is me reducing one of them now. And so I just kind of squeeze, go up and down till I get a little bit smaller, and then I start to roll. And I also reduced this one way too small. It was just really fresh, soft clay, and yeah, not a good thing to do. Here's my other one. I do the same thing. Just kind of squeezing up and down it. I turn it as I go. Turn it down at the bottom as I squeeze from the middle to the top. And then flip it around and do that again. And then I roll it out. And to be honest, I should have stopped about here. But I keep going. I made them too small, so don't make them too small because then it's going to take quite a bit to cover your bowl. So yeah, don't do that. We'll just cut off this end and we will be ready to start on the Mokume Gane. And here we go. I've got translucent and I have pearl. I'm going to take my translucent and I'm going to cover it in silver leaf because I want to get a reflective surface also going on underneath this cane with the sorry, lost my train of thought there. With the alcohol ink, it's going to look really reflective, and that's what I want to get. So with the pearl and the silver leaf, it's going to look really nice. So just covering the whole sheet, making sure it's all good and covered. Now here's my pearl. I'm just going to stack that on there, cut off that extra. make a cut, put it together, and roll it out with my roller, and then I'm going to put it through the pasta machine on a setting 0. I'm going to fold it to make a line so I get it cut straight. Some people, like I said again, can eyeball these things. I cannot. Put that together through the pasta machine, fold it, cut it, put it together, put it through the pasta machine. I'm going to fold it, cut it, put it together, and I think that's good. Make another fold, put it together. Okay, cut it again, put it together. I'm going to squish it out. And there we go. Join me for the next video where we make the bowl.